Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of The Living World of Darkness. Our scene starts off with one Kelly Krykos heading towards one Leah Krykos' apartment. Kelly nervously fiddling with her phone, flipping it from one end to the other in between her fingers. Knowing that the conversation that is to come, after a volley of very angry texts from one kinfolk, is going to make the subject matter less than pleasant, at least until certain issues are worked out. And so, Kelly makes her way up the stairs and stops at the last stairwell, tapping her fingers on the wall, looking at it, taking a deep breath, and then making her way up and knocking on the door with the back of her knuckles.
Leah's actually been kind of pacing back and forth. She heard about everything last night, and she was just trying to hold her temper in long enough that she wouldn't say something she really, really regretted before she texted Callie. But of course she did anyway, eventually. And she hears the knock on the door. And at that, she looks at the door for just a second, looks down at a bracelet on her arm, which I'm thinking Callie hasn't seen yet. It looks kind of like vines of roses, but it's like a whole bunch of them and with a clasp underneath. It's really pretty. She just made it recently. And it's actually made of steel. So she just looks at it. And at this point, we're going to roll willpower. I know you're not expecting this, but it's okay. I know what I'm doing here. I'm good. All right, so activated. I officially have 3 armor.
Jesus!
What? It's her bracelet. She's allowed to do it, and you're never gonna know she did it.
Never mind.
It's amazing. Hey, what? We're dealing with an angry guru here, possibly angry, upset guru here. We need to be careful. Now that I have something to be careful with. Okay, so she'll then walk to the door and fiddle all the damn locks and just open it, kind of throw the door open and walk back. Just sort of walk away.
Yeah, nice to see you too, she says as she steps in and shuts the door.
He just shrugs. Well, I don't see you very often in the first place, and the only thing that seems to bring you around is because I'm pissed off.
I work in the Sept. I'm there every day. There's no reason you can't come by and see me while I'm working.
Right. Okay, fine, you're right.
Everybody wants to jump down my throat because I have responsibilities to take care of.
Sure, go off on me. Why not?
Oh, no. Let's not even start playing that game because it's going to get ugly really fast.
Okay. What? I'm just agreeing it's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Callie steps past Leah, walks in, finds a place to sit down. So you just gonna sit there on your high horse and be passive aggressive the whole time, or are you actually gonna talk?
What am I supposed to say to you? You couldn't be bothered to tell me the truth. I mean,
Well,
I would have, the subject has come up before. You didn't want to talk about it. And then you tell, I don't know who else. I know you told Alan, and I don't know who else. But at least, Alan, you told him something, and it's more than I know. Do you know how embarrassing that is to find that out in front of like everybody? I bet he knows more about my mom's death than I do. So if you want to talk about high horses, well, you know, congratulations, you have a high horse too.
No, I really don't. You know, you think it's really easy for me, or think that it was just so easy for me to decide, hey, I'm not going to tell my own sister about the details of what happened. You think that it's something I did on a whim, or something that literally had no consequence? Do you think that it was easy for me to not tell you?
I have no idea. You also went 6 months without talking to me, so it's kind of hard to judge at this point. And by the way, for the record, I'm not going to make you roll empathy. It seems silly. She's not actually being sarcastic. She's saying something seriously.
And do you think that was easy?
I know it wasn't easy for me.
And do you think it was any easier for me to not be around the people that I grew up around, people I knew and loved, people I know that would have given me the support that I craved but couldn't face? You seem to think it up in your head that I did this on a whim, or did it out of some kind of spitefulness, or maybe even some misplaced sense of do-goodery. Is that it?
I just thought you felt guilty and that you wanted to let this all soak into your head. Honestly, I figured maybe you'd tell me later. And honestly, I don't even know if what he said was the whole thing, because some of the things he said don't sound right to me.
There have been quite a few times where I've sat across from you, looked at you, and wanted to say something.
No, but instead you tell my boyfriend. Gotta protect the little kid folk. Let's do that some more.
You just don't get it.
No, I don't. I never said I did. That's the whole point here.
Do you know what I see when I look at you when it comes to the issue of our mom's death?
Tell me.
I see her, I see Meg, and I see you. And it is everything that I failed made manifest when I look at you and try and talk about those things. This wasn't done to protect you, at least not in equal measure with the fact that I failed the people that meant the most to me. And I haven't been able to face that down. I still can't go and visit Meg's grave. I can't go visit Mom's grave. And it's a lot easier to pretend that things are okay and that it's happy times now because you and I are back together, but the truth is that it's also excruciatingly painful to be able to sit there and pretend everything's okay when it's not. You want to jump on me because I didn't tell you? Because you think I'm trying to protect you?
Honestly, I was going to say that was just me being sarcastic. I'm not sure if you were trying to protect me or not. Maybe at first. Maybe at first, but I don't know about now. mean, I kind of understand at first. Like, you hadn't seen me in 6 months. I was not even 18 yet when all that shit went down. I mean, I kind of get it. But I really hope protecting me isn't the point right now. I hope we've gotten past that anyway.
It's hard to look at you and not feel the guilt for not being able to protect our family. That's what I'm supposed to do as a Fury and an Owing. And I failed in that in every way imaginable.
You were a cub. A cub. Nobody expects you to be able to do everything as a cub.
Callie will stand up and she starts shouting. That's what I expect from myself. Because that's what Mom would have done.
Leah gets really close, but not like in her face and comfortably angry, not like that. But just really close. And she's just like, you know Mom was wrong. We've been over this, but not on this part of it, I guess. You seem to want to idealize her memory, like she was this perfect person, and I'm not going to sit there and push you on that because we've been over it. You know my point of view. I don't think you're sugarcoating my point of view. But if that is really what, if you really think she had such unreasonably high expectations of you before you were even of age, if you want to look at it that way, then what you need to be questioning is Mom, not yourself. I mean, what you just described is kind of what I've been saying all along. She had like no expectations for me, but apparently far too high for you. Which of us got wrong the most? Who the hell knows? But either way, she could not find a fucking happy balance.
You see Callie's eyes a bit amber, and her arm comes up. And not to great effect, but to some effect, she starts punching Leah's wall. Over and over and over and over again, putting a hole in it until she hits a stud.
You're going to pay for that. You already ruined your dad's stuff. You don't get to ruin mine too.
Do you want to know everything that happened?
Don't you think I deserve it?
I'm asking you if you want to know. Not if you deserve it or if I think you should know it. Do you really want to know?
I think I have to. It's not if I want to. I think I have to. How can I possibly live here knowing that other people know more about this than I do? How can I live with myself not being able to deal with it, with not actually knowing? I mean, I don't need to know what she looked like, afterwards or anything like that. Honestly,
You want to know everything.
I've seen it.
Know everything.
Oh fucking hell! I saw her body. You don't need to describe that to me. It'll be in my head the rest of my damn life. Remember? It got sent back to me.
Fine. Sit down, and I'll tell you the tale of how Celine Krykos passed away.
Leah has this look on her face like, I don't want to sit down. But she's going to sort of pause for a second, kind of clench her fists. Not like she's hitting anything, but just more trying to have something she can control, I guess. And whatever Callie's not sitting on, she's going to sit on that because there's a couch and a chair. I wasn't sure which she picked, but they will choose the other.
Callie will sit down on the chair. So we Skyped, you and I, the day before it was all supposed to go down. You told me how proud you were of me, how happy you were. That made me ready. So we spent that night in revelry, me, Meg, and Mom, along with a lot of the other cubs and the other den parents. We didn't drink all that much, getting ready to go into battle. And we talked. Meg and I talked about a whole mess of things, from what we would do when we got back, how we'd go about things. And some of the changes we try to make as when it came to our time. Things that we saw that were in need of changing in the sept. Guardian positions for kinfolk was one of the things we agreed on. Maybe a position on the council for kinfolk. We thought about inviting delegates from the Lazarite movement for Metis rights. Things that we could see that could be changed. We also broached the uncomfortable subject of what we would do if one of us fell. Meg promised that she would look out for you if I met my end. I promised that I would try and carry on with the goals that we had, not give up. Meg died. Something that Meg knew that you seemed to miss, that Mom seemed to miss, was that I don't have the strength of character that a lot of people did. Never have, and I don't think I ever will. So the next day we spent in preparation and training, keeping ourselves warmed up, running and light sparring. Her and I ran up to the cliffs, watched the sunset. We came back and it was time to go. And so we went to that care center and we waited. When we came in, everything happened really quickly. You've seen Garu in action. You know how quick it goes. The Fomori that we fought didn't have a chance. By the time that they were reverting into what they were underneath the skin they wore, we were already cutting into them, putting their putrid and vile blood all over the place. It felt good. It felt really good, considering what they had done. Meg and I were standing back to back, in between two of them, fighting, clawing viciously. And it was over. Meg and I were about ready to congratulate each other when the gunfire started. I watched as the back of Meg's head blew out, and there was nothing I could do to save her.
For the record, Leah does visibly cringe there. Doesn't say anything, though.
I grabbed a hold of her, and I started to feel rage. I started to see red, and then the pain in my chest, it knocked me over. I hit the ground. I couldn't get back up. I couldn't breathe. Everything was burning. My arms stopped working. I thought I was dying. I couldn't call out to Mom. I couldn't call out to you. Couldn't call out to Guy. I couldn't do any of it. Everything hurt, and nothing worked. And I watched Mom tear into them. She was taking shots to her the entire time, and yet she still moved forward despite the pain, despite the injury. I watched huge chunks of flesh being carved out of her. I watched her back go glistening, the black fur just covered in her blood. And yet she still charged on. I didn't tell Alan that she killed them. And she started coming back towards us. Everything was fading. I was sure I was dying because it was just going quiet and cold. Mom collapsed only a few feet in front of me. I don't know if she was dead when she hit the ground or if she was dying, but she wouldn't look at me. I tried everything I could to call out to her, and she wouldn't look at me.
She probably couldn't. Sounds like she was defending you.
At this point, Callie's face is just covered in tears.
Box of tissues on the table.
I couldn't get my arm over to her to at least hold her while she died. Her eyes were just staring. Cold and afraid. Never seen that look on her face. And then it just went black.
So why did you put the blame on yourself for this? You told me that you felt like... Sorry.
If I could have drawn some of the far away from her, maybe we both could have survived. Maybe she could have survived. I had a responsibility to bring us both back, all three of us back to you.
Actually, like I said, you were a cub. It was her responsibility to protect you and Meg. Imagine how she felt. Because it seems like she knew. It seems like she knew what had happened to you and what had happened to Meg. She probably wasn't sure if you were alive or dead. You said you couldn't really move. I get that you feel responsible, but you weren't.
Every time I look at your face, I see her just staring.
Well, that's pleasant. I'm gonna get a plastic surgery. Does that help at all?
Callie gives Leah a look just of, too far.
Sorry. Honestly, I think you look more like her than I do. I think I look more like my dad. You certainly sound more like her than I do. So, was it that much easier to tell Alan than to tell me?
Feels like I've just been ripped out.
Like, I'm sorry, like what was ripped out? It blurred right there.
It feels like my guts have just been ripped out.
Does that mean it's a bad thing?
I don't know. I never know. I've never been good at this social shit.
I know. Trust me, I know. I'd be off someplace flirting with some guy and you'd just come up and be like, hey.
Is it really that bad?
Sometimes. But, you know, high school. Not the best age to know how to handle, you know, romantic relationships, if you know what I mean.
You're all I've got left. And I just feel if I'm not worthy of what our families stood for. I'm not worthy of a lot of things, you included.
You put far too much on yourself. You're not the only one representing your family here.
I'm a Krykos. I always overburden myself. That's our family motto.
Or you could take my version of Krykos and take a chill pill once in a while. Yeah, I said chill pill. That's right.
I wanted to tell you. It was hard. Telling Alan was easier because there was a huge degree of separation.
So you didn't think what it might be like if I heard?
I'm not a very smart woman, you know that.
Oh, for God's sakes. I've never insulted your intelligence. Maybe your poor decision-making skills, but not your intelligence.
It was cathartic, okay? To talk to him, to say it.
And with me, it just feels like you've ripped open a big hole.
Sorry. I let you down.
Not with your actions that day, you didn't. Okay, you see Meg get hit. You try to get a hold of her and, do at least get her away or something. And then you get hit. You did everything you could. I mean, it was short, but that's just how fate works sometimes. The only thing you've let me down on is the fact that you put me in a spot of being in a public place, surrounded by, well, a lot of people, but in particular one dumbass idiot, and hearing things about my own family history that I should have known already. You have no idea how insensitive Snow is.
He's a lupus. He doesn't understand. I barely understand.
Doesn't change the fact that it was a real dick move.
I don't think they have that concept.
Actually, he was really cool to me before. I didn't really have a problem with him. But to look at someone who's sitting there clearly with like tears in their eyes and who's talking about their family, who's just said, why didn't she tell me herself? And to look at me and just say, I said truth is pain. Yeah, well, fuck you too. My punch in your face would be pain too. That's why I left. I won't be pulling any of that shit that Vale did.
Callie's abrupt change in demeanor it snaps her out of this wallowing in self-pity. She looks up as she wipes her eyes. What the hell are you talking about?
Leah's eyes are pretty full of tears here too, for the record. And she just kind of stares at Callie like, what?
What are you talking about?
Are you serious? Like, nobody's told you?
Told me what?
God. Sometimes the Sept really needs to get up on modern technology. Seriously. Fine. Vale, a couple of days ago, evidently punched Dragos in the face for, I don't know, I'm told no apparent reason. Plus, he was kind of screwed up the other day, and he mentioned some things in public that were questionable, like mentioning the word den father when we were out at a bar. So he's gotten punished, and evidently you're getting dragged down with him.
What?
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. You have no control over him. I don't see why in the world you should be getting punished for it. And I told Vale that too. He pissed me off.
I'm getting punished.
Well, yeah. He's your kinfolk, right? As she's clearly being very sarcastic there.
Punished for what am I getting punished with?
Told a rite of ostracism? It's nothing compared.
Spending the willpower point. Okay, not 3 successes. Yeah. You see Callie, like, her face contorts and her eyes go just an empty yellow. Then you can see that she almost stands up, and you can see the muscles underneath her features tightening as they look like they're about ready to go through a shift.
Calm down.
And there's just this deep growl in her throat as she
Leah's
looks around, and she wants to punch something. You can see her hands up, and she's...
Leah's going to stand up and look down at her and just very calmly say, calm the fuck down.
Callie looks at the table and just smacks the tissue box off the table before sitting down.
Okay. I could live with that. Tissue box, no big deal. I didn't know it was going to be any kind of a surprise.
For fuck's sakes.
I know.
I am going to beat his ass.
Who, Dragos or Vale?
Both.
Well, Dragos, apparently for Vale's punishment, he gets to be... Vale gets to be Dragos' bitch for a month. Which is like... Which, you know, to be honest, Vale screwed up. It was an idiot move. I was there when he did the first stuff. Wasn't there to see the Dragos thing. We were just, like, playing Truth or Dare in a bar. A bunch of us were, and there were other people there besides us, if you know what I mean. And he said some things that should... It was all just weird stuff that we tried to, like, you know, we kind of tried to hide it, blow it off maybe. It was just a misspoken word. But after he said that, after he said the word den father, Travis was like, oh, all right, time to go. And pretty much ushered everybody out. Except for the one person who was there. A person you and I seem to know in common.
The way you're saying that makes me worried to ask, but who?
I'm told you know someone named Valerius or Val?
Yeah, I know Val.
Yeah. He was there too.
Val's one of the only changelings I actually have any affinity for.
He seems like a decent guy. When we first met, he put 2 and 2 together and figured out I was related to you. Apparently, we must have some resemblance that I can't quite figure out.
He's okay. He's been a boon as far as I'm concerned. He helped me get out of Harano.
Really? That's actually really interesting.
I let him work his Fey magic on me. After the Hive incident, I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares. Dad was sedating me. I think I told you that.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
He and his wife, Eve, they helped me get through it.
Good. I mean, I'm glad they could help, I guess. I don't know anything about their magic other than the enchanting part.
So, let me get this straight. Vale has a slip of the tongue, which maybe he's not being punished so much for. Maybe he is. I can understand him possibly getting punished for smacking Dragos if apparently it was for no reason. Although, I have been tempted to do the same. But,
You know, it was about 2 or 3 slips of the tongue at that bar. If you want to roll empathy there, you can, actually. There might be something you could catch.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, because you're full of empathy.
Actually, no, I'm not.
I know, that's my point.
1, 2 successes.
Yeah, Leah actually knows a little bit more detail about that. Maybe even why he was messing up.
Okay. We just sat here. I just completely let everything I've been holding back for months and months and months now out on the table, and you're keeping things from me.
Well, honestly, I can't remember the first couple of things he said. I know he said some other things, but I was drinking too, and I don't really remember.
You're holding back. So, do you want to be a hypocrite? And clearly, this is something important.
Leah's just kind of sitting there, like, she's actually meeting Callie's eyes, but she looks like she's thinking. Bless you.
Thank you.
Kind of bites her lip for a second there, and just kind of looks at her and she's like, honestly, it's not my story to tell. You should talk to Vale. I don't feel right telling Vale's thing. This is a couple thing. It's not a me thing.
Callie's going to put her hands on Leah's, and I am going to roll her charisma, empathy, along with her pure breed and rank. Because I get to do that now.
Well, it is a social role. And is there
social.
something that I can throw my pure breed onto too, just for fun?
If you were trying to, like, intimidate me down, sure.
Or just resist your,
Oh,
charisma?
willpower. Willpower. Charisma, 2, 3.
So I can balance some of your pure breed.
4, 6.
So really, my role would be willpower plus pure breed? I think that sounds really weird.
No, just your willpower.
I was going to say, that's Mike.
And I get a -1 difficulty because noble heritage.
Too bad I can't spend willpower on willpower.
I know. And Callie's going to spend a willpower point on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and with the willpower, that's 6.
I got 2. And
so
I
Callie
4,
comes.
4, 6, 8. Yeah, you only rolled 2 dice more than me.
Callie comes across as to Leah potentially as she's already pretty beaten down by putting all this out there. Maybe to Leah, she doesn't look like she could take much more.
Does she say anything, or is it just trying to
If it were anybody else, I'd say more, but considering they're sisters, she probably understands that look very, very well.
Well, it is pretty persuasive. So Leah just kind of sort of sighs, just rubbing her head. It seriously isn't my story. It's not my thing. I was just informed of it.
Leah, please.
Vale was upset. And God, please don't tell him I told you. But at the same time, what the hell? He has to know where my loyalty lies. Just try to get him to tell you or something. Apparently he got thrown off because someone told him they were interested in him at that point, and he didn't get to tell them that he was engaged and stuff. So it threw him off, and that's when he started saying the wrong things at the wrong time. He's going to fix it. In fact, he might have already. I have no idea.
Callie's kind of at a loss for words, like she's trying to say something, but every time she goes to say something, she either reconsiders or...
I told you, it's not my story. I shouldn't be the one telling you this. It should be him.
So Vale fancies someone else.
No. I said somebody told him. He doesn't feel the same way, or why else would he be engaged to you?
He just completely just forgot that, you know, oh, his fiance existed. Oh, okay.
No, he didn't.
And she stands up and starts pacing back and forth. That's how this is going. Like, just a couple days before we're supposed to be on a boat going off to say nuptials.
Chill.
No, that's fine. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's how things are supposed to go in my life. Because nothing can ever work out properly. Everything has to be just a fucking hassle, doesn't it? Can't have anything nice. Can't have a family. Can't have a relationship with anybody. So, you know what? Maybe you should just go into ritual seclusion. Because that's how things are supposed to work out in Garu society. That's exactly how things are supposed to go.
Are you done? Can I say something now? Look, it happened.
She holds up her finger.
Fine.
He walks over to the bed, grabs a pillow, and you just hear as she just screams a muffled scream into the pillow. You almost feel that maybe what she's screaming might actually burst out through the other side of the pillow.
You know, that's all right.
Her ears turn completely red as she kind of goes a little weak in the knees as she maybe puts out a little bit too much air out of her lungs.
Breathes in a little too much cloth. Just wait.
She just drops the pillows and then just kind of slumps down, leaning against the bed. And her eyes are just kind of staring blankly. Her hair is just kind of matted with sweat from that one.
Liz gonna go over next to her, put her arm around her. Just be like, it's not like that. He can't help what someone else feels for him. It was just a public situation, a social situation that he, apparently what happened when he and the other person went up to the bar to get drinks, and I dared him, like, you know, I did. Well, actually, I dared the person to do something because it was truth or dare, and there was a dare, and, you know. And apparently my timing was really, really bad. So he didn't get to say, look, I'm about to get married. I'm sure he's taken care of it by now. I told him that you would be fine as long as he took care of the situation and just fessed up. Because he didn't do anything wrong as far as I know.
Just forgot that his fiance existed.
He didn't forget. He just went up to the bar. How did he forget? What was he supposed to do? Say, hold on a second, I need to talk to her, like in the middle of a game in a bar. It's not. That would have been so obvious and so
Just
awkward.
out of curiosity, what exactly did you dare this person to do?
Trade clothes with Vale, and they had to pretend to be each other for 10 minutes. It was
That's
just
literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
mock me all you like. I had to do the Coyote ugly thing again. Apparently, Val wasn't there the first time, so he made me do it again. I'm getting quite expert.
I'm gonna have to start splashing water on your shirt.
Apparently, could you? Actually, all I have to do is rip the bottom of the shirt off, get on the bar, start dancing, and you can throw crap at me and start yelling, "Hell no, H2O." If nothing else, I have a backup job. He didn't forget you existed. He just was like so shocked by what they said.
So who is this person?
New guru. I'm guessing you probably haven't met her.
What tribe is she?
You know, I don't remember. Which is truth, by the way.
You're so lucky you don't remember, because I know what she is out of character.
I literally don't remember in or out of character right now. I think she does know, but I can't remember right now.
Well, she's a get.
I think she has heard that, so okay, then she'll just say that. Because I mean, I wasn't trying to lie. It was just more a case of I don't remember.
Make a I guess just a straight up intelligence roll to see if you remember. Just to make sure it's all in the up and up.
Okay. That's decent.
Yeah, you remember.
There's so many people around in so many tribes, and unless Leah gets to know them well, I hardly remember what they are.
So you say get.
Yeah. She seems pretty nice.
See Callie puff up a little bit, and she takes a few breaths.
Look, Vale can be an idiot, but he's your idiot, okay?
So I have to go kill a get.
I don't think you do.
It's a Fenrir. Leah. We don't get along.
That doesn't mean that you have to kill her. Honestly, if you're going to kill anyone, kill Vale. He's the one who's got you into that damn right.
No, I'm gonna take him out behind the woodshed. In some regard. I don't know how. Without fucking triggering everything that's been terrible in his life.
I know. I don't know every single detail, but I've seen him overreact enough times to know that he overreacts. Because of it.
How am I supposed to enforce getting him in line
I have no idea.
without doing it like a wolf would? That's how they're going to want me to do it. That's how they're going to want me to keep him in line. Just by token of keeping him in line, I have to treat him like he's property. Or that he belongs to me.
You know as well as I do that anything I do reflects on you. That anything he does reflects on you. So I can go out and do something stupid and get you screwed over too. Should I do that? Because I can.
Do you want to wake up hanging upside down?
I almost punched Snow in the face. I swear to God I did. I was this close. And then we would have been in the same damn situation. wonder if I would have ended up having to be Snow's bitch. That would have been awkward for Alan.
The connotations on that are just so wrong.
I'm just saying that's his packmate. I wasn't trying to go there. You're the one who started going into pervy territory.
Well, you know, you hear things long enough, you've been around, you start to hear things, preferences.
Okay, little miss, I used to be a virgin 5 minutes ago.
That was the juicy gossip for somebody of that persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was just the more experienced Garu trying to freak out the pure as the driven snow Arun. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Let's keep it that way.
Oh, good, more secrets. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That doesn't affect me. I'm okay.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure a quick Google search could put your mind in terrible places.
Oh, yeah, try looking up Asian women. It's terrible. Or bathing suits. I looked up bathing suits because I went to shop for bathing suits online once. Don't ever do that. Like I said, I really don't think he meant anything wrong by it. He was just kind of shocked by it.
Well, she has designs in my kinfolk. If I'm going to have to claim him as my kinfolk, I got to make sure that she doesn't have designs in my kinfolk anymore.
Then you can talk to her, but we both know how, or even challenge her. But we both know that just killing is not really the best option ever.
Sure as hell make me feel a lot better.
You know, she might not have even known that he's engaged. She came after. Only been around, I don't know, maybe a week. And with Vale's family, it's got to be you got to be able to smell how fast they move. It's got to be something genetic that you can smell on them, right? So why not?
How do you know about what Vale's family's like?
Oh well, let's see. You guys were engaged in 4 days. It took Xavier and Amara maybe what 2 weeks. Then there's Emmett and Nico, and I have no idea, but apparently that's been around for a few days. I'm surprised they're not engaged yet. Yeah, it's kind of everywhere. It's obvious that they're just fast movers. When Xavier was telling me about that, I was like, well, thank you for at least waiting longer than Callie and Vale did, because now I can still continue to torment them over that.
You've really got to get some new material.
Meh. Eventually, perhaps I will. When it stops annoying me.
Why does it annoy you so much?
Because I'm afraid you're making the wrong decision. I'm not questioning your choices, but I'm your sister. It is your choice to make, and you'll make it. You have made it. But that doesn't mean I don't worry about it.
It's everything the tribe would want.
I don't care what the tribe wants. No offense. I love my tribe. But I don't care what the tribe wants in this case. I want what you want.
I want to have a family.
His face kind of crumples there for a second. She turns away.
Kelly looks at her. What?
I am your family.
You are my family.
I was
But
there
I want...
first.
Well, do you want me to propose to you then?
Well, that's a little creepy. We're not, you know.
You said you're the one that put it out there.
Not like that. I didn't say I would have sex with you. God. We're not Egyptian. We're not pharaohs.
Just saying, like, it's a different meaning, and you know that. You know the context.
Yeah, I do. But you're only 19. Why do you think you have to get married right now so fast?
Because my life expectancy is drastically shorter than yours.
Not if I keep getting into this stuff that, you know, drags me off to haunted houses or into the future. By the way, I don't think Leah ever mentioned the haunted house thing.
Yeah, Kelly's just kind of looking at that, but going to dismiss it.
Well, you would have probably noticed that it's pretty obvious when she has nails that are still growing in. I mean, everything's healed, but nails take a long time to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of obvious. But it doesn't matter. Move on if you want. I'm just saying. Oh, and then there's the Black Sparrow dancer junk. I'm not really so certain that I... Yeah. That's kind of old news, too. You've really been out of the loop, haven't you?
What's going on with... How are you involved with spirals?
Accidentally, evidently. I don't really remember.
What? Her face completely changes to a very stern and a very wolfish expression.
That looks kind of like how Alan looked after we realized what happened. It's wonderful to have two wolves so possessive. I'm just kidding, I promise. No, a couple weeks ago we went to an art gallery. It was just an art gallery to look at art. It's what you do in an art gallery. And I'm not quite sure what all happened, other than, according to my text, I was eventually told, I got a text from Alan telling me that I should take Cinna to the bathroom, because Cinna was with us. It was before she knew what was going on. Basically, I looked at it, and normally I don't follow orders, but there are some times that you just kind of have to, you know what I mean? So I did. I made up, okay, I don't know. Honestly, we found ourselves in the bathroom, and I made up terrible excuse. I don't know. I'm not even sure why the hell we were going to the bathroom, honestly, if you had just asked my head. But anyway, apparently, it seems we must have met someone there that none of us remember. And apparently he got mine and Cinna's cards.
Callie leans over, kind of puts her hand on Leah's opposite cheek, and then just breathes really deeply, like she's sniffing her sister.
Okay.
Oh, thank Gaia.
What?
Out of character, Callie just used sense worm.
Well, I get what you did, but I bet Leah's not sure what you did, so which is why she's like, what?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just checking something. You're fine.
Oh, right. Considering she's been worm tainted before, but anyway. And it just has gotten weirder, I guess, because, well, okay, the way we figured it all out was once we realized stuff was wrong, which involved Contemplates the Mercy, who apparently Travis had called over to help with the situation because they figured, I think maybe Logan had figured out something was going on. And so Contemplate shows up and he figures out there's something, there's this place is really wrong. So we all like leave in this huge hurry and ended up in Morning Kill's office, where he asked if any of us had given him anything, like cards or anything. And I'm like, oh shit, I have those cards Vale just gave me. I've only given one away. So I pulled it out. It's like a pack of 100. And I honestly only gave the one card away as a joke to Alan because, look, I'm so fancy. I have a card that says administrative assistant on it. There was a card missing. I had 98 cards, not 99, which should have been. So I must have given it away. And then I found a card that apparently the person had given me.
Where is it?
I gave it to Morning Kill. But apparently, and I didn't realize this, Senna had a card as well. And she tried calling the number, which turned into a big nasty mess. She didn't understand. She just barely knew that, all she knew was something bad, and she was just going, it's just a phone call, it can't hurt anything.
Leah, do you realize that if a
froze, I think. There, start over.
He or she can find you because she has that card. If it is a spiral.
I'm pretty sure it was a spiral based on, I can't, I'm not even sure what they did. It was something Contemplates did. Yeah, I know. And that's one of the reasons why Vale's moving the business. I told him that he should probably change the name of it and everything. But I don't think but he's not willing to listen because obviously if they have the card, they also have the business name and the address and the phone number and everything.
That's not what I'm worried about. It's the fact that there's a right called Right of the Questing Stone. That's why I will always be able to find you, no matter where you go. And since I know your name,
yeah,
your real name.
You do.
Though, was it Leah Krykos on the card?
Yeah. Because I mean, the only place he would have seen Calliope was on the official paperwork when I had to do all the new job paperwork. But I'm sure it would have said Leah because he knows I don't use that name.
It's a little better, but not great. You need to find a new place to live.
I plan to anyway.
No, you need to do it now. You need to either come move in with me or move in with Alan or any other Garu you trust. You have to be with a Garu.
I think there are far too many people living in your house already.
This is true.
I have no problem with moving. I already planned on it anyways. With the raise that he's given me, I was going to start looking for places.
You have to promise me you're going to do it today.
Well, I can't move in one day. That is impossible. I have to find a place
it's
first.
Very much possible.
No, it's not. How am I supposed to find a place that's what I want? No, I won't be doing it that fast. I have to actually look at apartments.
Then I'm not leaving.
Just not going to take a random place. And besides, if they have that, they can find me regardless of where I live. Right?
You need to move in with a Garu. And I'm not leaving your side until you do that.
Yep, this happened like 2 weeks ago.
I don't care. You can see that Kelly's hands are visibly trembling. And she does have a look in her face that just shows nothing but apprehension and fear. You don't need to roll for that.
Okay. Are you actually trying to make decisions for me?
Not intentionally.
Because I get it. I get that certain decisions might be better for me and I can make them and that's fine. But you're just telling me that you're doing this isn't going to help.
Kelly nods and just looks away, but still her eyes are forward and her knee is kind of moving up and down with her hands just shaking.
Senna's living with Morningkill right now anyway, so she's about as safe as she can be, I think.
I don't care about her.
I do. She's my friend. She's crazy and wild and fun and unpredictable, and I like her. Even though she's going to get herself killed, but that's another subject.
I know you think that I'm being overbearing, but I'm not leaving your side until you find a place to live. And if you're not going to come and stay with me, then I'm going to stay with you. Because if a spiral comes after you, you are not going to be able to stop them on your own. I failed to protect my family once. I'm not doing it again.
Okay, I get it. Because there's another possibility. Because like I said, location doesn't really seem to matter much. Maybe we can talk Alan into moving in at least temporarily. And then I'll have time to look for a place. Would that fulfill your requirement, Ms. Caritas?
It's better than nothing, though. Alan's kind of a pushover when it comes to combat.
You said a Garu. He falls right into that area.
I know. It's just, yes, it'll work. I'd prefer it to be an Arun, but beggars.
I'm not going to. Look, I don't want to deal with you like in the days before your wedding. You kind of need to like be around, and deal with the whole veil thing and all of that shit. So that just doesn't make any sense. It's just, God, so many people. I've just finally got my own space. I honestly don't remember giving that dude the card. I just assume he has it because it's missing. Dude, person, whatever they are. Although, no, the card had a guy's name on it. So, guy then. Forget his name. Jason something? Something else that I would remember, but Leah would remember. I don't.
That I don't remember what was on the card, so because I didn't watch that scene.
Yeah, I was there, and yet I don't remember. Okay, we'll have to figure this out.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be intruding on you. You know that.
sorry, I hit a wrong button.
Mm-hmm. I kind of figured.
That was an oops. Well, all right. Well, hang out here, I guess, and I'll have to see if I can track him down. Because that's probably a better situation. Even if I suppose maybe he might let me stay at the pack house even.
That would be preferable, honestly, but I don't know how you're going to feel with living with a bunch of Garu. Although,
Oh
Night
God,
Eyes is there. You like Sophia, right?
I haven't met her. I just keep hearing about her.
Oh.
Zeke, Antonio, and of course Snow, who's turned out to be quite the lovely douchey person. The biggest problem I have with that place is apparently some people are bringing cockroaches around, which is disgusting.
They're not so bad once you get to know them.
Oh, I have no problem with the idea of the spirits of them, but living with them is kind of gross.
Believe it or not, they get actually a pretty bad rap. They're actually very cleanly when it comes to themselves. It's just they happen to crawl around in squalor. Like do you know that captive bred cockroaches, they are actually very clean. They don't have all the nastiness on them. That's why people sometimes keep like those hissing cockroaches as pets.
All right. Well, seeing as how I was just trying to see if I could grab him, and he's evidently not responding, we'll just have to leave it at that and see if I can figure something out when he is around.
So do you want to order some food?
Yeah, it's lunch. I suppose I might as well.
And we can binge watch some stuff on Netflix if you want. At least that way it doesn't have to be so damn severe, and we can actually enjoy each other's company.
It's not that. If I'm gonna have a jailer, at least it's one I like.
Not a babysitter.
I said jailer. If you say babysitter, that's actually a little bit more offensive.
Okay, loyal bodyguard. Who happens to love the shit out of you.
It's better only be temporary.
Until I know that you're safe.
I was already planning. I'm tired of this place. I need the hell out of this place, but I should have the right to live how I want to live.
Callie just puts an arm over Leah's shoulder and sort of rests her head up against Leah's.
Leah will actually hug her sister and then kind of pull away just enough that she can just sort of lean on her a little bit and just be like, fine, let's order some food and then even go for a walk or something. I don't really want to be cooped up in here all the time.
Have you been to the top of the Empire State Building yet?
No, actually, no. I was too busy, getting moved in and all that fun stuff to do anything touristy.
I know you have the Heights thing, but it's it's safe. It's got a big cage around the top of it.
I'll go up. I just can't promise you how close to the edge I'm going to get.
That's fine. At least we could get a picture of it and send it back to the people back home to prove that you at least have faced your fear. Besides, I'll hold really, really tight.
Okay, well, if we're actually going to do that, I'm going to roll willpower to see just how well it actually ends up going. Oh, well, that is one success.
Shaky, but not great.
Yeah, how is it that my 7 dice never give me, like, successes? It's crazy.
The law of averages, dear. The law of averages.
But 7 dice, 7 willpower, and I can't freaking pass it and roll better than that one. It's the only time I've ever passed that heights thing. Alright, so I guess we'll end with them ordering food as Leah considers her options.
And there we shall call it a scene. Thank you all for watching.